od společnosti Quantum. Myslím, že kdo z vás zná Agoru, tak zná i Quantum, protože Quantum zastupujeme na českém a slovenském trhu už více než 25 let. Společnost Quantum má svou vlajkovou loď a to je systém StorNext. Ten je aktuálně ve verzi 7. StorNext je také u tohoto zákazníka. Systém StorNext zajišťuje celý životní cyklus dat nejen v oblasti media a entertainment, kde je to teda, jak se říká, from ingest to archive, od opravdu nabírání dat přes jejich editaci až po archivaci, ale i v klasické podnikové infrastruktuře. Takže se opravdu neomezuje pouze na media, entertainment a třeba medical, ale i další společnosti. V této přednášce bude zmíněn nejenom ten StorNext, ale oblasti zálohovacího hardware, ať už to bude pásková knihovna Scalar, objektová storage ActiveScale s ochranou Immutable. A zmíněna bude též ochrana pomocí RGB řešení ActiveVault. Pozor, tato přednáška bude v angličtině. Pokud byste měli jakékoliv dotazy nebo čemukoliv nerozuměli, tak nám kdykoliv můžete napsat do chatu nebo se doptat. A samozřejmě, kdyby vás nějaké téma z té přednášky zaujalo a chtěli byste to probrat více, tak mí kolegové, ať už je to Jirka Vlček, Pavel Baňář, Jirka Novák, které určitě znáte, tak vám rádi tyto informace všechny zprostředkují. Za malou chviličku, až se rozjede mikrofon, tak za mnou přijde už kolega Sebastian Weinberg, který má na starosti portfolio společnosti Quantum speciálně a primárně pro media a entertainment a zastupuje toto portfolio pro celou jižní a východní Evropu. My jsme se včera už potkali, protože máme velmi dobrý vztah se společností Quantum a diskutovali jsme některé zajímavé projekty. So Sebastian, please come here and maybe like a short teaser for your presentation. Try to mention as a first some of interesting projects you have finished in last year, because yesterday during the dinner you have mentioned something. So maybe start with some interesting project.
Yes.
Because PowerPoint we know everything, but
sure. Well,
now it's
first, thank you
turn.
for the time. It's a pleasure to be here today presenting for you. Yes, well, we just started our new fiscal year in April. So last fiscal year was amazing. We did great projects in film archive preservation, in broadcasting, playout systems, post-production studios. So it was great. I'm the responsible for South and Eastern Europe for the media business. So the last year was a great year, integrating many technologies, many third-party applications and partners, and creating new workflows in media. It was fantastic. So today I have a presentation about our company and some of the technologies that helped us to deploy those projects. As many of you may know already, Quantum, it's a company that has been in this business for many years, and it's fully dedicated for more than 40 years to unstructured data. When we are talking about unstructured data, we are talking about more or less everything that is not related to a database. So we are talking about video, pictures, audio, satellite image, video surveillance, and so on. So I like to say Quantum is a comfortable size multinational American company, comfortable size in the sense that we are providing top-level enterprise service to very critical environment, very critical customers as national TV stations, as post-production studios working for the mayors. But at the same time, we are small enough to be close to you, to the customers. So if you come to any of our trade shows in a few days, we are celebrating NAB in Las Vegas. So if you pass by our booth, you will be able to talk to the product developers, with the product managers, with the people really driving our solutions, and you will be able to talk to them, to request new features, to talk about your case. And that's something it's not easy to do with the giant vendors of generalistic IT. So that's I like from Quantum. We are close enough to you, so we really understand your needs, and you will see that understanding as our focus and the solutions we deliver, the new features we deploy. So through the years, Quantum has been purchasing different companies, integrating their portfolios. So now we have a super complete portfolio, but always talking about unstructured data. And as you may understand, unstructured data is especially in the media environment. So those are the 4 areas where we are working specifically. And this is a very important to have a clear focus in the solutions, focus in the necessities of our customers. So media, traditional media, video surveillance, digital preservation, and of course, ransomware protection. So within the media environment, I would say that the top 4 priorities for us are the broadcast and post-production, VFX, OTT, of course, all the streaming, very important in these days. The gaming industry became huge, and of course, VR, ER, EI. So all those are the core of our focus in media. And again, as result of this focus, we are facing the challenges that most of you may have already, like bigger format, working in 8K. After COVID, well, everything related to disaster recovery, to remote work. So very, very important. The production windows, the tight budget. So I'm sure that you can identify with these needs. And that's part of the focus we have, to try to solve your media needs, not generalistic IT stuff, trying to stretch products to your market. No, we are video guys, we are creative guys, helping creative guys from the media industry. Another result of this focus is the alliances we have. There is no other brand in the storage industry who has this level of alliances after so many years of working in this vertical market. We have all the ecosystem of applications you may need. And this means that your investment is not only super good for today, workflows for today needs, but probably for tomorrow, if you need to add new applications, you will find that the brand who is more likely to have those already certified, of course, is Quantum. And as a result of all this focus for so many years, you can see so good references all around Europe. In Czech Republic, in Spain, with most of the regional TV stations, the national TV stations. In Italy, same thing, film archives. So you can see us all around Europe in TV stations, in post-production, animation, advertising. And the idea is, in many of these customers, we're providing an end-to-end solution to our different products with a comprehensive layer of software to manage, to enrich through EI, the content, and at the same time, another layer of full monitoring with analytical data, with the same interface, the same GUI for all our products. A little bit of our portfolio, where you can find the EI tools, where you can find the production storages, and of course, the protection for your data. So as a quick summary of the company, well, we are talking about a company that has been for decades in the media industry, that has a size enough to be close to you, but is big enough to give you premium enterprise on-site service. We are full of experts, not only at the sales side, but in the deployment, in the support, people that is talking every day to media companies. And that's very useful when you need to deploy a new solution or to attend a new workflow, to talk with someone who understands your needs, who can advance future challenges you may have, and technicians who will understand the complexity and the criticality of your issues. So going into the solutions, my colleagues from Agora already mentioned StorNext is the heart of many of our products. StorNext is a file system designed specifically for broadcast environments, for video environments. So with video, the king of the unstructured data in mind. So StorNext has two main components, rock-solid file system with super speed, and at the same time, an HSM, a data mover. With these two components, we are able to create a single namespace, like a volume, where you can accommodate different storage technologies, no matter if it's disk on all the flavors, it is different cloud providers, object storage on-premise, or tape libraries. You will be able to see all those storage systems like a single volume with all the simplicity. When I mentioned that it's fast for video environments, well, it's the fastest worldwide. We have this neutral study that you can check online, where we demonstrated that we are the fastest in aggregated throughput, with the lower latency and the better performance. On top of the speed and the stability of the system, we provide flexibility in the topology. So with many other storage systems, you are forced to connect your clients, your computers, your workstations directly with a specific topology, with 10 gigabit, with 25 gigabit, whatever. In our case, you can mix and match all kinds of different connectivity, giving to each user the kind of connectivity they need for the specific work they will do. So this way you can optimize the investment in your connectivity, in your switches, for the real steps, for the real necessities each of these users will have. The flexibility is not only on the connectivity, but on the protocols. In most of the solutions, storage solutions from our competitors, you are forced to go to traditional NAS protocols. The NAS protocols are very useful, very easy to use, but they were designed for ophimatical purposes. Yes, of course, StorNext is able to provide traditional NAS protocols, but on top of that, we have our own accelerated protocols. And as you can see, they are much more performing using exactly the same connectivity than the traditional NAS SMB protocols. And this is important, it's the same spirit, is to give to each user not only the cable, but the protocol they need to access the system at the speed they need for the task they're gonna need. On top of the topology and the protocols, the file system has many other features, as unlimited replication with deltas replication for each day, allowing you to create automations within quantum systems and within third-party NASes with quantum. Quality of service. We are talking about mixing different kinds of needs, different kinds of connectivities and protocols. Well, we need to be sure that each group of users with a different usage they will do from the system will have their bandwidth needed for the task they will do. So this way we can protect and segregate the different kind of users through the quality of service on the networks. Production tiering and auditing, two very important things. These days, more and more, the mayors, and because all the different cases we saw in the market with ransomware and so on, security is very important. and being able to control and deliver reports of the usage of the system, who ingested content, who moved content, who deleted content, is very, very important. And it's included with our solution. And of course, production tiering, I will show in a little bit. It's super important in order to optimize the investment on the primary storage. So all these features and many more, we can go in deep if you are interested, comes with 3 simple licensing for capacity subscription, for the online, for the nearline and cloud, and for the tape. There are no surprises. There are no extra licenses. There's nothing hidden. So you have everything pre-configured from day one. So the only thing you need to think about is how big your system will become. That's the only thing. And the whole system is monitored by our cloud-based analytic monitoring system. So super complete monitoring from the cloud, where you can check the status of your systems from home, basically from a tablet. And it controls the hardware, it controls the file systems and the usage, giving you very comprehensive information about the status, the capacity, the performance of the systems. Well, a typical question from our users is my system ready to accommodate more users, a new workflow? Well, with this level of information, you will feel super comfortable with the understanding of your system and the implications of new tasks, new users, new workflows. Same thing for controlling the secondary tiers, the tape, the cloud, and so on. So all this technology comes deployed into a hardware, an appliance called Excelis, which is the same kind of appliance, for example, Studio FAMU has deployed, and many other customers in Czech Republic. And it's a super granular solution, in the sense that in many other cases, you are forced to grow through full nodes, where you are getting storage, even if you only need connectivity, or you are getting connectivity, even if you only need storage. In the case of the Excelis, you can invest exactly where you need. As I mentioned before, being able to mix and match different kinds of connections on each of the servers, and with a very complete block storage developed by Quantum below. This way, you can invest exactly where you need. You need more access, more concurrent access. Well, you can deploy an extender node only with processing and access. You need more capacity. You just plug a JBOD. You need more speed. You can add RAID controllers. So as you can see, on top of the file system and the head nodes of the system, we can provide super dense block storage with incredible speeds, with dual active-active RAID controllers, from 12 to 84 bays, being the 84 bay one of the denser in the market, and again, with incredible speeds. If those spinning disk solutions are not enough for your performance requirements, we do have our F-Series solution, which is totally based on NVMe. As you can see, it was awarded with every award you can think in the industry, and it can give you mind-blowing speed of 55 gigabytes in 2 rack units. We manage in a few customers, even here in Czech Republic, to replace third-party NAS solutions from multiple racks with a 4-rack unit StorNext plus F-Series, and it works incredibly fast. I mentioned before production tiering. Well, with these pieces, we can create a puzzle where you can mix different storage technologies. So NVMe, SSD, SAS, nearline SAS disk, all below the same comprehensive file system, one single volume for the users. They see all the files online, no matter where they are. And then we can automate the system to move the blocks, to move the files to the place they need to be for the task you're gonna do. So let's say that you need low latency. Well, probably you're gonna need the files on an SSD or NVMe storage. But after the task is over, why to keep using that super fast storage for sleeping files? Well, the system can totally automatically and transparently move away those blocks into bigger, slower storages. This way, your fastest storage is always empty, always ready for the next task. And this way, you can optimize your investment a lot because you're never gonna need to grow on your fastest storage if your work is not growing, if you don't add additional clients. The only area where you're gonna grow probably will be on the bigger, cheaper storage. So this way, you can automate the movement of the blocks from one way to the other, depending your needs. So to have a more global picture, we are talking about a multi-operative system file system with different protocols, with different topologies, all talking to a single namespace, a single volume, and behind we can have all the flavors of disks, tape libraries, object storage, multi-cloud providers, all simplified. And this is great because the user doesn't need to know where the files are. Everything is totally transparently moved through the file system to accommodate the files on each time where they need to be, to secure the contents as soon they get ingested in the system. So you don't have any risk of ransomware, and it's protected from day zero. So as a summary of this solution, again, one single vendor for the whole solution, the software, the head nodes, the disks, one single maintenance contract, one single phone number for the whole solution. Rock solid, super fast, faster in the world file system. All features included from day zero, so no surprises. Super fast connectivity with dedicated protocols. HSM integrated, so you don't need to worry about third-party software for protecting the content, for moving data. And API integration with every MAM in the market, with the biggest ecosystem in the market, and super granular growth for optimized investment. All controlled by the global cloud monitoring. Just to talk a little bit of our tape libraries, changing a little bit. I'm not gonna go super deep on tape libraries, but I want to say that Quantum is still the leader on the tape business, part of the consortium of the LTO format with an agreement with IBM for the development of LTO 10. And we are still providing a very complete family of tape libraries, going from 25 slots to 12,000 slots. But again, with the focus in media, we still deliver features that are very useful for your daily workflows. For example, the ActiveVault, again, was mentioned by my colleague before. So ActiveVault allows you to create a cold partition in your tape libraries where you can accommodate second copies, where you can accommodate protected data that is totally isolated from the outer world, what the IT people call air gap. So every tape you put on the cold partition of the tape library is the same than externalizing the tapes and put it on the safe box. But no one needs to access the data center. The robot takes care of it. And even if you have a ransomware attack or a hacker accessing your systems, this data is totally isolated from outside. So cannot be encrypted, cannot be destroyed. EDLM, well, we are storing contents for many years to be super sure that they are protected. But if you are not checking those cartridges, how you can be sure in 5 years that the contents are still there, that there was no degradation on the cartridge? Well, our tape libraries include the possibility of proactively check the status of the film of each cartridge completely automatically. You don't need to do nothing. You just program the scheduling for the checking, and the system will take care of check tape by tape, even if they are on the active vault. And in the case that we detect some degradation of the film, we can even automate the data movement to a new tape, so you are 100% sure that the data is always available. To give an even higher level of protection from ransomware, our tape libraries offers a physical ransomware protection where you can eject the magazines of the cartridges. So they are still readable from barcode standpoint. So you keep your accessibility of where the data is stored, but because this alienation, the robot cannot pick the cartridges any longer. So it's even safer this way, because if you are having a ransomware attack, not even the robot can pick the cartridges, so they cannot be physically accessed. So to give an alternative to data protection, not only in tape, but in disk, we presented a few years ago ActiveScale, our object storage, based on a very popular protocol, S3, and with erasure code, protecting your data on disk with the strongest technologies available. This ActiveScale in this moment is one of the leaders in the quadrants for the object storage technology. And it's in the middle in terms of speed access and in terms of pricing between the traditional tape approach and the production environments. So it allows to lose much more components than in the production environments, where we are super focused in the performance. In the case of the object storage of the ActiveScale, we are focused in the durability of the data, in the preservation of the data for many, many years. So we just announced a new model based on NVMe for even faster performance. But even the disk-based are performing enough and totally disk-based. So very, very powerful technology with very strong anti-ransomware technologies deployed from day zero. For example, we provide versioning, so you can always go back to the previous version of the file, and we provide object lock, meaning immutability of the data on the different packets. So every file, every render, every video you put on this system cannot be encrypted or modified, not even by the administrator of the system, giving you totally confidence on the solution. This solution being an S3 protocol access, it's very transversal for your organization. Being able to protect media contents, but being able to protect all kind of files and objects. So you can use it for IT, you can use it for protecting playouts, to protect editing. So there's no file, no workflow that cannot get the benefits of ActiveScale. With a wide range in terms of capacities, from more or less half beta up to unlimited, allowing you auto recovery and auto reparation of the system, allowing you to move into newer and denser disk families in the future if you have higher capacities in a very transparent way and without downtime. And allowing you the same mix we presented on the file system side, on the StorNext side, with disk and tape all together, unified on the file environment, in this case, on the object environment, where we can have this to tape, but everything under object with the benefits of the object storage. So some use cases that we recently presented using all these kind of technologies, because I believe it's interesting to understand, okay, how this could beneficiate me. So, for example, many of you have Avid has been working with Nexus, and that's great. But as many of the third-party storage solutions, they are under menace of ransomware. So with an agreement we did with Marquis, we find ways to protect Nexus. Many of you usually tell me, well, I really don't need to protect my Nexus because my content is very volatile. I'm gonna produce the content, and in 2 days after, I'm gonna delete it. So why I need to protect this content? Well, if you have a ransomware attack, or if you have a hacker attack, or any other kind of virus, you don't need 2 days. You need just a few minutes. So the idea of protecting contents, maybe contents that cannot be re-recorded, is very, very important. So we saw that when the people is trying to protect Nexus with different softwares, they believe that their content is safe, but when they have the disaster, when they need to retrieve the contents, they find that those contents are still there, but they need to relink, to reconnect. The reconstruction of the volume is not so easy as they expected. And this is impacting a lot the back to work, the time they need to continue the production. With this solution based on ActiveScale with Marquis, we are able to do the fastest full recovery of an Nexus system in the market with super granular retrieval. So let's say that you need to restore a single project. You don't have time to retrieve the whole Nexus volume. You need to retrieve one single project or the last render file you did in order to send it to the playout, in order to deliver to the customer. With this solution, you can open your workspace from the backup copy, navigate to your project, navigate to the file you need, and just retrieve that file. Another third-party integration is with NASes. So we can repurpose existing NASes from third parties as part of our ecosystem, as part of our archive tiers, having a fast copy on based on disk between the secondary tiers we can provide. We can push and pull contents to third-party NASes too, making all kind of automations and protecting the contents from third-party NASes. In many cases, some of you may say, okay, but we already have a backup software for doing that. Yes, the backup software could be useful for third-party NASes if you are working with ophimatical files. But in the moment you are working with specific media files, well, having a media design solution and a more archiving approach to the data preservation is far more much better than traditional IT backup. So with this integration, you can very easily make not only the protection of the third-party NAS, but the disaster recovery of it at the price of the terabyte at tape. So far more cheaper than any other disk-based solution. We can do the migration from file environments into object environments, maintaining this logic of disk to tape using the same tape library with a simpler partition, assigning drives to the two tasks, and we can migrate clients from one side to the other, redistributing the contents from traditional approach to newer S3-based approach. We can use, through this alliance with Hedge, we can use StorNext for Media Composer. So the users can use the same StorNext file system with all the benefits I mentioned before, using Media Composer with all the features, the bin locking capabilities, and so on. And of course, it can be the central repository I mentioned before, not only for the media, for existing HSMs, but for the rest of the company, where they can protect IT backups, all kind of files in this object solution. As a last topic for my presentation, I would like to introduce our last announced solution, Myriad, who has a little bit the best of both worlds. So we are talking about still unstructured data, but with the easiness, with the scalability, with the graphical interface you saw on the rest of our products, but with super high performance. So Myriad already has been introduced a few months ago and already got many awards. So the idea is to allow you to have massive amounts of unstructured data on full NVMe end-to-end, so without bottlenecks, with object technology inside, and accelerating the applications and the workflows you have around of the system. So the product has been designed from the beginning with a very intuitive user interface, with full complete monitoring, and the performance as the definition of the product, with a full set of features that you will enjoy, not only on the connectivity side, but on the snapshot, or on the different speeds that you can accommodate on the system. So very complete solution, composed of 5 small nodes, all based on NVMe, with the scalability in mind, with self-installing, auto-discovering, auto-configuring. So you put the new nodes, you connect them to the network, and that's it. You will have it expanded in a few minutes with the same simplicity of monitoring, of data analytical, and the advantages of the object storage. So we have a full list of features already delivered on the version 1, and more to come. So specifically designed for low latency requirement environments, so animation, VFX, post-production environments can beneficiate of this. So as you can see, full application compatibility, super dense, 5 use, and super fast, especially designed for EI environments where the latency is critical. And as you can see, with all these solutions, we can provide end-to-end, truly end-to-end solution to most of your media-related workflow. I will be happy to give you more information if you need of any of our solutions. Thanks a lot for the time. It was a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you very much for your time. I ask my colleagues, do we have any questions there on the Zoom?